Hello, Divine Souls, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Introduction to Tarot, exploring the Major Arcana for growth and expansion purposes. Regardless if you have or have not had prior exposure to the Tarot, this video is intended to assist in expanding your ability to utilize the cards in a sacred way to enhance your personal growth and spiritual expansion. The Tarot are excellent visual aids in your growth and expansion journey to maintain focus and anchor the universal principles and energies that each card represents into your heart center to promote expansion, understanding, healing, elevated knowingness, and even elevate your universal connectedness. Maybe for some listening to this video now, you have avoided the Tarot because of all the negative stimuli surrounding the usage of the cards, but I want to state very clearly that it's not the Tarot that are dark or negative, but the intention behind how they are utilized and the intention of the user themselves that brings about a negative or positive experience. We've been so conditioned to not utilize anything that will promote our awakening, and this must end. So before you shy away from anything that you truly do not understand, I encourage you to up-level your perception and understand that there is always something positive to be gained if you set your intentions to reside in the spectrum of light and love. This is the first video of a video series that I'm introducing that will address each one of the cards in the Major Arcana section of the traditional Tarot to broaden your acceptance and gratitude for what the Tarot represent. The Tarot represent universal principles, challenges, and abilities we all experience through the collective human experience. They can be a wonderful spiritual tool to heighten your higher abilities to receive messages of light that will assist you on your growth and expansion journey. This video is introducing the Fool, which is the very first card of the Major Arcana in the traditional Tarot deck. But don't let the name fool ya. This card is no joke. The Tarot cards each represent states of existence we all can experience, and the Fool signifies the states of euphoric bliss that is experienced when we transcend the deepest core elements that shadow our light and love, that cause us great internal suffering, which leads to experiencing external turmoil and pain. We have all that is required to transcend any opposing state that shadows our potential to exist in this life in states of peace, love, wonderment, and abundance. But it's our responsibility to awaken, to remember what we truly are and what we truly represent in physicality. Our soul self, our higher self, already embodies all the divine universal principles of truth. And it's our responsibility to awaken and remember our authentic divine nature so we can live an existence that expresses our divine authentic nature and all of our higher abilities. When you start working with the cards, the most important element to anchor is your feeling center. Your intuition and feelings will guide you to the truth you're seeking. Spiritual work and working with any spiritual tool is all about feeling more than it's about thinking. When we engage the mind too much, it can pull us into ego states, and the true messages will be distorted. When working with the cards, you must connect to your heart center. You must clear the space and cleanse the energy in the space before you start working with any spiritual tool or when conducting any practice, because this seals the space and your energy and physical vessel in light and love, which is required to maximize a lighted experience. I always pull to me my team before I work. I call in my angels, archangels, star family, and star beings of light to assist me in holding the highest frequency of light and love, and assists in clearing the space that I'm occupying to keep out any negative interference. This also allows your guides to communicate with you through the cards. Personal growth and expansion reading this is when you're pulling just one card from the deck. The intention behind this type of a reading is solely for yourself. And the focus is regarding your own path and not the path of someone else. Especially when you're first starting out, I wouldn't recommend that you try to pull the cards regarding other people, but to work with them and build in a connection and a relationship with that channel solely for yourself. So for this type of reading, you're just going to take the cards in one hand and you're just going to shuffle them back and forth in a back and forth motion until one card presents itself. And when that one card presents itself, that will be what your guides and your team is communicating, what your current state of growth and expansion is in your journey. When you're pulled or drawn to a specific card, if you see something and you just can't get your focus off of it, this is another way that your team and your soul or higher self communicates with you. So that's just setting the foundation to keep in mind while working with the cards. But I'm going to go into greater detail moving forward about the Fool, which is the first card, again, in the Major Arcana of the traditional Tarot. So let's dive in a little more. Major Arcana, the Fool, represents the universal principle of transcendence states. And the core attributes of the Fool represent the stages where we have embodiment of courage, transcendence of ego states, disillusion of fear. It represents euphoric higher conscious states of ascension, and it also represents activation of soul potential. So when you draw this card, or this card presents itself to you, or you have a focus on this card for meditation because you are trying to expand your transformation journey, your metamorphosis journey into transcended states of enlightenment, You can utilize this card in meditation to pull to you the answers from your team and your higher self that will promote the shadow work that is required in order to achieve these core attributes in your growth and expansion journey. If you're doing a reading for yourself for growth and expansion, and this card is presented to you, that's a sign from your team that you are in this, that you're embodying this universal principle of transcended states, that you are embodying a level of courage that is so deep because you have transcended the fears due to the work that you have done internally with yourself in your growth and expansion process of transformation, that you are now moving into euphoric higher conscious states, which represents higher ascended states like 4D, 5D. And we currently exist on a three-dimensional existence on this planet. And as we grow and do the shadow work and we expand ourselves through the transformation process, we are participating in the ascension process, which is elevating our states of consciousness to higher multidimensional levels of a 4D and 5D. And yes, there's higher dimensional states, but that's not the purpose of this video at this time, so I don't want to get off track. So when you're experiencing, when you start to elevate your conscious states, you'll experience an activation, an integration of soul potential. You are transcending a third dimensional mindset through an elevated divine soul perception of what potential really is and is not. Okay? So I'm going to go into this a little further in detail. The Fool of the Major Arcana in the traditional Tarot represents ascension into higher conscious states of existence that is achieved when we devote to the internal embodiment of love. Love felt and embodied within our spiritual heart center or higher heart chakra so intimately that the veil of illusion is revealed and the universal truth transcends ego states. All fear dissipates when the veil of dark illusions are dismantled through the elevation of trust, and we experience higher states of existence through elevated spiritual senses. We transcend into higher states of consciousness that embody enlightened states of soul divinity, and the imprisoned states of spiritual oppression within the ego states are transcended as we ascend into higher dimensional states of consciousness. The process of returning to wholeness through elevated internal conscious states that embody the interconnectedness of universal oneness, and we accept, acknowledge, embrace, and embody the truth that we are the spark of light within that interwoven organism of universal consciousness. We experience divine euphoria of an internal paradigm shifts and the activation of dormant crystalline DNA strands that initiate our remembering of soul divinity. It is the initiation into wholeness states that integrate all fragmented aspects of self, that embodies the universal truth of unification. We embody the limitlessness of our divine potential. It is the personification of the rising phoenix that emerges from the ashes of transcended, shadowed, conscious states of ego. It signifies that transformation has occurred and we emerge out of the cocoon of extensive growth and expansion, uniting us with liberation to shine our light in ways that honor our authentic soul expression. It signifies the work we have done and transitioned through within each growth stage of our chakras, and the lessons and challenges we've faced to transcend into higher states of existence through understanding the essence of our synergistic and unified energetic and physical existence. We see through elevated eyes our reality from a higher perception that accepts, acknowledges, embraces, and embodies divine potential that is within our grasp to co-create. And we only perceive self as limitless potential incarnate. This card signifies the embodiment of self-love and worth through an expansion of energy flow through the heart center. And with open heart and strong willpower, we value our authentic opinion of self over and above any other opinion from the external world. We become impervious to the third dimensional ego viewpoint of others due to the armor of self-love and worth that only embodies self as fearless, and has reclaimed the higher internal states to face all adversity and opposition from a solid foundation of established high self-esteem that is constructed from unwavering self-acceptance. We face the world and all that we are with vigor, enthusiasm, and a strength of genuine confidence in our ability to seize all opportunity from a creative and open heart space, and deeply embrace our soul potential and higher abilities to allow universal understanding to flow through our intuitive pathways. In this state of enlightenment, we are intensely resonating with the frequency of our soul song, heard more than the clatter that we have transcended over and above the ego mind. We experience a blissful state of vitality, a recharged and fresh approach to life so deeply that we leap off the edge of the cliff of possibility without even looking down at what is under our feet, because we have unfailing belief in self and trust that all is working to our favor, because we have reached the inward epiphany that we truly have all that we require to overcome any obstacles we might encounter with ease and grace. We have a heightened knowingness of the excuse me, synergistic dance between universe and self that work in harmony with all energies and co-create in dynamic ways with pure courage, trust, belief, and excitement. This higher state of perception or consciousness is achieved by everyone who approaches life with the willingness of heart and open-mindedness to face their shadows from the position of love, and face the fears that require resolve to heal that which suffocates our radiant light of potentiality. The choices we make every day determine our empowered or disempowered states of existence. We must forever elevate our range of perception to practice the depths of value, meaning, and purpose in all that we have, are, and will experience in ways that honor our light and divinity, like the rising phoenix, who has embodied transformation as the path of transcendence. So that, in essence, is an overview of the core meaning and the universal principles of the Fool. Now I want to talk about embodying the Fool and working with this tarot card for the sake of promoting personal growth and spiritual expansion. And I've provided positive affirmations that will promote this, and you can follow any ritualistic practice of your choosing and utilize these affirmations as you speak through your rituals. You can meditate with the card and state these positive affirmations. It's completely up to you how you want to incorporate these positive affirmations to pull the universal principle of transcendence into your personal growth and spiritual ascension journey. So, number one, I am a radiant divine being, and I embrace this within my heart as truth. My elevated eyes are wide open to embrace and play within the vastness of my internal potential, and I approach life fearlessly with energetic excitement and a heart filled with wonderment at the magic of this human collective experience. I dedicate my daily practice of existence to sparking the conscious process of returning to wholeness states of divinity. Playfulness is not irresponsible. Playfulness is the essence of my pan-like spirit that gives me wings to elevate within all situations, to see the value and opportunity being presented. I approach growth with humor and blissfulness because I understand that all experience is for the sake of growth. Being lighthearted fuels my ability to deeply connect with my higher senses and spiritual abilities. Fear is behind me because I choose to believe unfailingly in my ability to be my own dynamic, wise, and courageous leader. I have all I require within me to be all I need to be to accomplish all I came here to accomplish. I choose to trust and believe everything is working to my favor. And lastly, I allow myself permission to have the courage to be the purest, most authentic version of truth in my self-expressions and accept that is enough and beautiful in my own uniqueness. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. And to show your support, if you did, please subscribe, click the bell to receive future notifications on upcoming videos. Be sure to like it and share it with someone who you feel would benefit from this information as well. Bye for now.